Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6A, formerly 5B, and it's time to show you my garden again. I will admit that I have not been out here a lot this past week because with the smoke from the wildfires up north, it just hasn't been a good environment to be outside. So I've been limiting my outside time. I have done several big harvests of tomatoes, at least at the beginning of the week before it got really hot. But after it got hot, I haven't done much of anything. There are some things that have grown like crazy, but there are a few things that haven't gone quite right in the garden. I'm going to show you them all. So here we are. Honestly, I just want to start with the loofah plant because it has gone crazy. I am trying to decide if I want to trim it or how I want to manage this plant. It might just be me continuously just trying to retrellis it so that my stairs are still usable. We have seen a couple of flowers on the loofah plant, but I haven't found any fruit yet. So we're still waiting for that. But this thing along with the sweet potatoes, probably two of the most fantastical things of this garden, that both of which I thought weren't gonna make it, but here we are. Also, I'm super excited that these zucchini plants are still doing super well. I haven't lost them yet, and that is phenomenal because how many rounds of zucchini have I tried this year? I think this is like the 4th or 5th iteration of me trying to grow zucchinis. And of course you can also see in the back there the bean plants. The leaves are gotten so big. All of these are runner beans. And in front, we've got the pepper plants. Buried, excuse me, I just hit a button I shouldn't have. Buried back there, you can kind of see a volunteer tomato plant, along with one right here. And then this volunteer that looks phenomenal. But that brings me to one of the biggest failures, at least this week, and that is I am losing my spinach plants. I used to have 2 or 3. I'm now down to just that one, and it doesn't look like it's doing the best. So I need to do another round of spinach, maybe in a better location. Not sure what's going on with this bed. Those tomato plants are doing okay. Not the best. I try to keep it watered, but I'm wondering if it's more to do with sunlight, because it doesn't get a whole heck of a ton. It just gets some of that morning sunlight, but then as soon as the sun hits a certain spot, it's in shade. These basil plants are insane. I need to do some pruning on that tree. I don't know why. I can't get those water shoots to stop. They just keep happening. Got the okra, and then this zucchini plant is still alive, but it's not producing. I think it's a little stressed. And nothing super exciting to report about the blueberries, but they're still alive, and that is a plus. Now I'm gonna take you back down since I'm doing this garden tour backwards. We're going back. So here we have one remaining pumpkin plant that is still holding on. It's kind of impressive. The last of its siblings has given out. So we'll see if we actually get any orange pumpkins this year. If I turn you around, got the peach tree and the strawberries. The cowpeas have come up, and they are looking really good. So as soon as they start getting taller, I'll start training them on the trellis. Just want to take a second to look at this corn. It is lovely. It just keeps getting taller. The test crop, oh, let's see, I'm coming right up to it. Okay, I am short. Let me just state that. I am 4'11", and it is about chest height on me. We've probably got about 3 foot for the tall stuff, and maybe about 2.5 for this stuff right here. The ground cherry plant is going crazy, along with the okra. So if you remember just a couple seconds ago when I showed you the okra next to the zucchini, this is about double the size. And like I said, I think it's just how this test area has been treated with compost and cover crop, that those okra right there are looking so good, even though they are cramped in together. Still not sure what the heck this squash is. Like I said, okay, it reminds me a little bit of a cucumber that I grew 2 years ago. It was like a lemon cucumber, but it's growing like a squash. So I'm wondering if I had a cross-pollination happen and the seeds just stayed in the soil for a while, and now this is what I have. I might at some point cut one off and cut it open just to see. I've got at least 2 fruit on it right now. Let's see if I can find the other one. There's the other one. If I swing back up real quick, you can see those potted tomatoes, and then these potted tomatoes are looking pretty good. And then I've got some bunching onions and basil that's still going strong. So it looks like I need to trim up the dill plant and do a little bit of weeding. The question is, should I start on that end or the side that's closest to me? Probably the side that's closest to me. There's really not much to show right now in some of these areas, because it's just tomato plants. We've got lots of tomatoes growing. I try to harvest every day. I get them at the stage where they're just starting to ripen. And I do this because I want to make sure that I get the fruit and the bugs don't. Because otherwise, a lot of these bigger ones, if I wait too long, the bugs have eaten about half of the tomato, or it's just cracked open and split. So I try and grab it as soon as I see even a little bit of blushing. Here we've got some carrots, which I need to start checking. I have checked a few of them, and they're not quite to the point where I want them to be. They're little carrots, so you can use them as baby carrots, but I want the big old carrots. And then buried in there, we've got the eggplant. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna harvest some of these beans later today. And then of course I've got these dwarf tomatoes. But I also have this tomato plant hangover problem. So it's getting a little hard to get through between these beds, and because I still haven't gotten a chance to level this ground, it's a little sketchy. So I'm gonna come back around this way. And see how tall this supposedly dwarf tomato plant has gotten. It's pretty much as tall as me at this point. And we've got more beans, we've got the potatoes, but we also have the pepper plants that are starting to get some space. Oh, I might have lost, there's one pepper plant. She's not doing the best, she's a little buried. But that pepper plant over there is doing pretty good. I believe that's the blot pepper and the yellow monster. And as you can see, the overhang between beds is a little crazy over here as well. So any place I have two beds side by side and I've got tomatoes, I need to do a little more cleanup. I did some, but then this last half of the week has gotten a little too warm for me. So the last couple days I haven't been able to come out and trim. We've got this insane jelly melon, and it looks like I've got some grass buried in there that I need to come through and get rid of. What should I say about this bed? This bed has been through so many different things, trying to get stuff to grow. There is a tiny zucchini plant in there that I think was part of my round 3 zucchini plants. I mean, it looks like it's got a blossom, but I don't know if I'll get any zucchini off of it. And I think on the back side over here, you can see some ground cherries that I transplanted over here. I think I'll get a few, but part of me is like, maybe I should just pull them out since the other ground cherry plant is so big. I was hoping that the jelly melon would go up and not out, but here we are. Got the fountain area with the kiwi, the elaeatrus, and the zinnias. I think this right here is a milkweed that I really need to just come in and yank. I thought it was a zinnia, but it's growing like a milkweed. Yeah, that's a milkweed. But these guys, even though they're competing with the grass, they look so good. These ones are always my favorite. do need to come through and retrain the kiwi plants because they're trying to go up instead of over. But the sunflowers starting to open up. I think I showed some of the blooms last time, but I have a feeling we're gonna get a lot more in the coming weeks. Since I walked over here, and I'm not doing this in any specific order, we've got my hot pepper bed, but the centerpiece is this Akote green squash, which we have been getting a lot of blossoms on. So I feel like we'll be getting fruit soon, which is exciting. And then over here, the garbanzo chickpeas are doing good, as are the sweet peppers and the marigolds that are interspersed with them. The marigolds might be doing too well. Lesson learned. And I mentioned this last time, I need to come through and find my potatoes. I'm just dreading that because I'm not sure I have a space to store them. Because right now I've got all of my onions and all of my garlic taking up all the room in which I could let the potatoes cure. So I've been holding off on the potatoes as much as I possibly can. But otherwise we have the rest of the tomato plants. And this is kind of where I'm thinking I want to do another round of spinach because it'll get hit by the sun quite a bit. And I think it's the only open spot until I get the potatoes up. There's another spot next to the tomato plants where I pulled up onions, but this one gets a lot of sun. Thyme is flowering. At least this one is. And I need to do another round of drying on the stevia. This bee balm is doing okay, as is this bee balm. We've got sage, yeah, this is the sage. But my lemon thyme, it's hanging in there, it's not doing the best. But that right now, besides that patch of tomato plants right there, is the garden. So yeah. So I know this probably wasn't the longest garden tour, but like I said, the air quality right now isn't the best, and it is getting very warm. I'm already sweating, and I've only been out here for about 20 minutes. So this is where I'm going to end the garden tour for now. I will let you know where I decide to plant that spinach. I really want to get spinach because I want spinach and tomato sandwiches, but I'm struggling really hard to get that spinach to stay. And they're hardy spinaches. They're New Zealand spinach, so they're supposed to be heat tolerant, but getting them to thrive right now, it's not going well. But if you do want to see how this garden continues to grow, I do a video every week. At least I try to do a video every week so I can see how the garden changes from week to week. So if you want to follow me on that, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the things. And of course, I also have an Instagram and Threads account where I do photos of what I'm harvesting, what I'm preserving, what I'm doing, so you can follow me over there as well. With that being said, I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna drink a nice glass of cold water. I do hope I will see you again in another video, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.